Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
En Rutas Alternas, el día de hoy tenemos el gusto de conversar con Eyedress, ya que el disco Mulholland Drive está disponible en plataformas digitales, de manera física también. El cuarto disco larga duración del creador con el que conectamos en esta videollamada. Hola, Idris.
Hola.
How are you?
I'm good. I wish I could speak more Spanish, honestly.
Oh, there's no problem, man. Where are you right now?
I'm at home. Just at home.
You live in the US?
Yes, I live in Los Angeles.
You are very close to Mexico, right?
I could drive there right now.
And you're
Close.
surrounded by a lot of paisanos.
Yeah, my girlfriend's also Cuban, Mexican. So my
cool.
son is half Mexican.
So there's part of your life there in LA, and now in this fall we have your new record, your fourth full length, right?
Yes, sir.
What can you tell us about the process of making Mulholland Drive? It's a reference of the David Lynch movie.
People keep saying that, but I am a big fan of that movie and his other works. So, but it's not. It's just because I live on Mulholland Drive.
Wow.
So that's why I came up with that album. When I was making the album, I didn't even know what I was gonna call it. It was the first time that I didn't have like a album title, but it came to me when I like moved here. So yeah, then it had like a meaning, but it's not a reference to David Lynch's film, but I did, get inspired by that growing up.
Of course, it's a reference of the place that you live. How important is LA for your creative process and for your music?
I mean, I could make music anywhere. It's just where I decided to move to, and I just like the way everything is here, and weed's legal, and a lot of my friends that also make music live here. So there's like a good community where we just, help each other and go to each other's shows.
Yes, and also it's a very diverse city, an important capital of the world. So there's a lot of things happening in LA, right? In music, in arts, in other stuff.
It's true. Yeah, that's why it's full of culture. It's so rich in that, and I don't know. It's just I never thought I'd be here, and I didn't move out here because all of this was happening either. I'm like a very low key person, but yeah, it worked out. Like I get a lot of love out here, and I feel very at home. So I love LA.
And Idris, your new album, Mulholland Drive, was making during the pandemic, during the lockdowns. What can you tell us about that process?
Everyone was at home and struggling with the pandemic. So I think we just all had time, and I did most of the songs through the internet. Like I sent, we were just sending stuff back and forth between like the people I collaborated with, and it made it easy. Like I had a lot of time to record. There's nothing else to do, and but it was also like it was difficult. Like what I had to record. Some of the songs were like about like it was like during the Black Lives Matter time and all the Asian hate in America. There was there's some difficult stuff I was dealing with, but overall it's a pretty happy album, I think. It's not like
I found a lot of lo-fi sounds, maybe some industrial things, a lot of power. But you try to find that kind of sound. You try to find this lo-fi design.
I think it's just a lot of the music I listen to is lo-fi. So I could try to do like a polished version of that, and also just trying to mimic old music. I really like stuff from the 60s and the 80s, and
Mhm.
I'm like, I see myself like a chameleon. I just make all types of sounds. It's not, and yeah, the lo-fi thing is intentional. I just think it sounds nicer on the ears. It's like warmer because I
Uh,
use tape and stuff.
yes, and there's also 15 songs in the album. There's a lot of songs, right?
Yeah, I made actually like over 30 songs for that album, but I had to choose the best songs. I didn't want to make like a super long album. I wanted to make like just a perfect like running time. I don't know. I'm very like ADD, so like I have I can't I can't just listen to something that's super long. Even my
Yes.
songs are kind of short because I'd rather listen to them on repeat than like hear a long ass song. It's too long.
And you also have a narrative in a full leg album, right? It's important because, as you said, when you listen the album in full, you find that narrative, you find that concept, that there's a reason why the songs communicate each other.
Yeah, I just the narrative is just my life. It's like it's a diary. So a lot of like all my music is just personal, but there's no theme or anything. It's just really reality based.
And you make the album on your own. You work with other musicians or with a producer.
I made most of it with different musicians and producers. It was like when I wanted to make this album, I only had like half of an album that was all made by me, and then that's why it was a good idea, because I was like, oh, why don't I like just ask some of my friends like if they want to make some songs, and if I put those together, I'll have a full album. So that's really all I did, and yeah, I couldn't have done it without them because I didn't have like a full album myself, and I really take my time. So the collaborations really made this album even more special. But yeah, it
Absolutely.
was, I got to work with King Cruel, like one of my favorite artists. And our song happened so funny because he just posted like a snippet on his Instagram story. And I was like, yeah, this sounds sick. And then he was just like, you should get on it. I was like, no way. Like, I didn't expect him to say that. So, it just happens organically like that. Like he just sent me the music, and then I just sang over it. I sent it back. He sang over it. Um, yeah, everything really happened through the internet except my song "Something About You." I made that with my friend Dent May. He like had sent me some instrumentals during the pandemic, and then he was like, I chose one, and he's like, you want to come record it at my studio in East LA? And I went over one day, and we made the song like the same day, and now that one's like going viral. Like, it's crazy.
Yes. It's very interesting how the internet, it's an amazing tool to make music, right? I know it's been forever since we use the internet, but nowadays it's more important because we can be with another people in the same room, but we
Hmm.
can send emails, we can exchange files, and we can create music or other arts.
Anything, you can make a movie.
Yes.
you know it's a powerful tool, and it's the reason why my music, I think, is doing good, because I've been invested in the internet for a long time, even when I was like a teenager. So I'm finally seeing like the benefits of that only now.
Yes.
I'm 31, so it's
So I
been
just
a long journey.
you have released this album with Lex Records.
Hmm.
How was working with
Yeah,
them?
it's always been good. They take good care of me, and you know, they just let me do what I want, really. They
I
don't.
know, because with
We just
independent
make
labels,
suggestions, you know.
yes, with independent labels, you have a lot of creative freedom, and they do the music business things, right?
Yeah, they just help handle the business side because I'm not a businessman, but I'm creative and I have like infinite energy to create stuff. So it's good to for me to work with a label because they also shape me up and, you know, help me take care of the responsibilities of like music business. Because before I was with a label, I wasn't thinking of any of that stuff, even like marketing. But you know, that's what labels are good for, you know, like, and you know, they help me make the best music possible by just letting me be free. They're good people to work with.
Yes, because nowadays with independent labels and independent artists,
Mhm.
there's a lot of power in between, right? Because you can add a friend that make the art and add another people that make something else. Everybody
Mhm.
is doing their own thing, and the music industry keep going for independent artists.
Yeah, I mean, without them, I don't know. I mean, we the musicians would still be here, but I think it just gives better exposure to like a wider audience. Like you know, like record labels will put your music in record shops all over the world. I mean, I couldn't do that independently.
Yes.
Maybe just some shops, but you know, like it's yeah. I know some people are against signing too because they'd rather own their stuff, but I think that's like a really hard, unless you're rich, like. But you know, I'm not rich, so it's like when I signed with a label, I was like, I need this, like, you know, I need because I didn't have a job, I didn't even finish high school, so I couldn't work. So you know, I had to make the music my everything.
And have you released Mulholland Drive on vinyl or CD?
Yeah, I think there's some delays with the vinyl because of the pandemic,
Hmm.
but it's being made and the CDs are out now. I have one. But yeah, it's coming. It's just the pandemic is holding up all the pressing plants apparently.
It's still important for an artist to make a vinyl or CD, right? The physical formats are still
Very.
important.
Yeah, I mean, I like buying records, so I think a lot of people still do. And yeah, that's why I do it. Because when I make this music, I also think about the record and the cover, and you know,
Yes, it's
I like that experience. I don't think kids get to experience music like that anymore because you could just listen on Spotify and YouTube. But why? I don't know. I still miss like going to like a record store and finding something on your own just because
yes.
you like the way it looks.
Oh, you make me think about a long, long time ago when I was going to buying records in my local record store. I spent so many
Yeah.
hours there.
Yeah, well, I grew up in the 90s, so I kind of got like CDs, but I do miss that because I didn't I didn't grow up like now. Like now you could just play one band and then there's recommendations at the bottom of the page and it's all like bands that are similar to that and it's like this sucks.
I
There's
know.
no magic, you know. There's
Yeah.
like it's like there's like an algorithm. I don't know. It's but whatever. Like that's the way things are. It's helpful. That's really good to know, but you know how back in the day when you discover a band on your own, like you just go to the store, you like I wouldn't even know like what it sounded like, but if I saw like a cool cover, I'd be like, I want to get this. Like this shit's hard.
So, Idris, when will you come to Mexico?
ASAP.
Please, please
As
do
soon
it.
as the border opens up, like I'm trying to go.
Hope you can make it as soon as possible, maybe early next year, to present your album. In the meantime, we can listen Mulholland Drive on all the streaming platforms, and we can buy a vinyl or CD in your website and listen the album. And I hope you can make it very soon to Mexico.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Looking forward to see you here live. Eyedress, thank you so much for this chat with Rutas Alternas.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.